Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing yet another weekly meal prep for the family, as well as the recipes of each dish that I'm making. Everything I'm sharing here is super easy and quick to make, and if you prep all your ingredients beforehand, it shouldn't take you longer than an hour. But I do have an extra pair of hands helping me today, which I'm very grateful for, because this does take up a good chunk of time, but it is so worth it when you have to do no cooking or thinking about what to cook during the week. Everything is just ready and you heat it up. I'm also sharing this recipe that I've been making quite a bit of on Instagram, and all of you are asking me every single day how I make it, and it is the tuna filling. So I'm going to show you how to make that, as well as this delicious guac recipe, and this here is my favorite breakfast to have currently, so you'll see how to make that. I'll also be making my own labels to organize these jars in my counter that I've not got around to do this very easily, and you guys will see that. I'm going to be using the Cricut Joy machine. It's actually a really small cutting machine. It fits in the drawer, it looks super sleek on the counter, and you can get lots of different accessories like these here with it, and the machine can label pretty much anything in your home. Can you see the size reference? It's the size of my hand. It even fits in this little nifty bag here. So I'm going to use the Cricut app, and it's free to download, and here they have categorized some labels that you can use. I'm going to be using the quick label and one of their samples. You can make your own if you want, but you can also just use the samples that they have here. Then I go to the label setting, wrote down what I want to label. So I'm going to be labeling my rice first, and I chose the vinyl that I'm going to be using. Once you're ready to create your label, you just connect your phone to your Cricut Joy, and it tells you each step that you need to take, which makes it so much easier for someone that doesn't know how to work a machine. It is that simple. I'm using the black vinyl for my label, so I just load it into the Cricut machine, making sure that it's in there properly, and it started to cut right away, and it cuts in seconds, guys. Look at it go. And then I used my weeder tool to remove any excess vinyl. I popped my transfer tape on the label, used my scraper tool just to make sure that it's fully stuck to the letters, and popped it on my jar. It's that easy and simple, and look how good this looks. It looks like I just bought a label and stuck it on, but I didn't. I made my own using my Cricut machine. Honestly guys, if you love all things organization, you need to get yourself a Cricut machine, because it is so easy to use. It looks intimidating until you start to use it and get used to it, and you see how easy it is to just label everything. Honestly, you can label pretty much anything in your home. I've labeled water bottles for Malik. I've done those little labels for their school clothes. The possibilities are endless, and I've also decided to go ahead and make myself a little recipe book, because I had this little book laying around, and I've decided to start collecting some recipes that I see and take inspiration from when I'm doing my cooking, and just save them all in one place. Here are some labels that I made earlier. So these little jars actually had the names on it, but rubbed off within the years that I've had it. And I've also labeled our little fruit containers that go in the fridge. At the moment we only have the grapes in because it's time to go do food shopping, but I've labeled them all, and they all look really nice and uniformed, and just looks very aesthetically pleasing. Same with these cereal containers, and now the kids know which is which. And Malik saw me doing all of these labels. He wanted to have a go at doing his own, so he labeled his own water bottle. And whatever Malik is doing, Liana wants to have a go, so she's done hers, and she chose this little pink L. I'm going to leave the Cricut that I have in the description box below. Make sure you check that out. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our meal prep, and the first thing we're going to make is this lovely chickpea and potato curry. So the first thing we're going to do is add some olive oil in our instant pot. This dish is so easy to make. You just get some cloves, some cinnamon sticks, as well as some cumin, and I've also added 2 little bay leaves in there. Just let that heat up and add your onions. Make sure you thoroughly wash everything that you're using, and then I'm going to add in my crushed garlic and ginger. Mix it in there once the onions are brown. So don't add your garlic and ginger until your onions are fully cooked and are the color that you like it. So this is the color that I like my onions, because it gives out that nice brown color to the curry that I'm going to make. It's not burnt, it's just brown. So at this point I like to add my spices. I'm only going to be using 2 spices, coriander powder and turmeric. Mix all that up and let it cook. If you feel like it's sticking to the pan, just add a tiny bit of water rather than adding more oil, and mix it up. Once that is fully cooked and looks like this, add in your potatoes and chickpeas. I had not much potatoes left, as you can see, so I added whatever I had left. And then I'm going to add in my chicken stock in the powder form rather than salt. I add in a tiny bit of tomato puree and then mix it all up together, let it cook for a little bit. So the final and last ingredient to add is your coconut milk. Once you've added the coconut milk, you just pop your lid on, let it cook for about 20 minutes and the dish is done. It is so easy to do and it tastes amazing. This is the dish I made on the nights that I don't fancy eating meat. So this is the end result. I didn't add any chilies. If you like your spice, add it in please. I'm only not adding it in because the kids are gonna have this as well. So that is the chickpea and potato curry. I'm going to add my coriander and voila, it is done. Now my husband is making his white sauce for the lasagna that he's making. It is so easy to make white sauce. Don't buy it. It honestly tastes so much better and is so much easier to make at home. Just some flour, butter and milk. That is it, and a lot of mixing. And then at the end you add in your cheeses. So I'm obviously just letting him do all the work whilst I chill out and wait for my little curry to cook. And this is how it looks, all nice and smooth. At this point he added in his cheeses. I'll show you the 3 cheeses that we use. And now we have our little takeaway tin situation, and we're going to be making 4 lasagnas. The children absolutely adore my husband's lasagnas. I think it's in the sauce that he makes. His sauce apparently is special. We've just defrosted it, and I'm using these lasagna sheets because they're the best. If you have never used fresh egg lasagna sheets, please do, and thank me later. They even cook quicker. And these are the cheeses that we used in the sauce as well as in the lasagna. So you just cut it up to fit whatever dish that you have, and that's it. It cooks a lot quicker as well. If you've never tried these before, I definitely recommend it over the ones that are really hard. These lasagnas you see are for the children, and we're fans of lasagnas, but we'll probably eat it once a month, whereas the kids love to eat this every single week. So we have one ready for 4 weeks now. And then he just layers it up, adds the cheese, bish bash bomb, you're done. You guys get the idea. Once he adds the cheese in, then he repeats it all over with the sauce and the lasagna sheets. But while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and make myself some leek and potato soup, but I'm doing it with a twist this time. Keep watching to see what the twist is. So first and foremost, you want to wash your leeks because they are very sandy and dirty. So I wash them and then I cut them up just like so. Once I've chopped them up, I get a bowl, put it in there, add some water and wash it once again till all the sand has gone completely. Now I'm making the thing that is going to make my leek and potato soup very special. I'm going to be adding in some onions to my instant pot. You don't even need to cook the onions fully. You just chuck in your meat, your garlic. The garlic can be whole if you want. I've added in some cinnamon sticks, some water, chicken stock in there. I've added some bay leaves, some garlic powder and cumin powder. So there is garlic in there and there's garlic powder because I'm a bit extra. I've also added in some whole black peppercorns. So once it's finished pressure cooking in the 15 minutes, The meat is tender, it's soft. All of this meat broth that you see, because I've used boned meat there, is gonna go into my leek and potato soup, so you get that goodness from the bone broth. So all you do here is just add some onions, add some of that garlic. It doesn't have to be chopped up at all because you're going to be blending all of this up. Add it in your leeks. Once all of the leeks are in there, mix it all up. Let it cook on medium heat. Don't rush this process. This is a very important process, okay? And then add in some white pepper, some black pepper, some salt, and some chicken broth again. And once all that's done cooking, I just picked out some potatoes because I didn't want to blend everything smooth. I like my chunk of potatoes when I'm having my soup. So once it's cooled down a little bit, popped it in the blender, blended it up. Absolutely love this blender, by the way, a little side note. And then put it back in the pan. I had my husband pluck up the meat for me, some of them anyway. And then I'm gonna add it into my leek and potato soup. At this point, I still didn't add the broth that I was talking about, so I'm gonna add that later on with some lemon juice, and that is my leek and potato soup fully done. So now I am just washing some rice. Wash your rice, guys. I've heard that some people don't even wash their rice. Are you okay? Look at all the stuff that's about to come off the rice. That's just dirt. Wash your rice until the water runs clear like that, and then just soak it and leave it for an hour. It helps in the cooking process. Now we're moving along to making this delicious chicken curry, and not just any chicken curry. It's a peanut chicken curry, and it's my children's favorite. So if you've never tried it, do try it. So we have just started with sauteing the onions and garlic and ginger, and then we're going to add in some spices, smoked paprika, a little bit of that chicken powder that I like to use rather than salt, some cumin, coriander powder, and I totally forgot to add turmeric, which I will be doing so later. In goes the chicken, and then you're going to add in what you should have added in first, turmeric and some tomato puree. Mix all that up together, let it cook, and then add some chicken stock. I love me some chicken stock, as you can tell. And then in goes the peanut butter. I love crunchy peanut butter in this. You can add in peppers, potatoes. My children don't like peppers, so there's that. Mix it all up, and once it's cooked down, it's going to look like this. Super tasty, creamy, rich in color and flavor, and just delicious. Try it and let me know what you think. So next we're going to make my famous on Instagram DMs and in my head, famous tuna filling. So you're going to take these two tunas that I usually buy from Tesco, and I realized, why am I buying one tuna can for £1.50 when I could go to Aldi and get it for like 50p, I think, or even less. Anyway, don't buy it from the bigger supermarkets and the bigger brands. Just buy it from your local Aldi for a lot cheaper, but they're tasty. I'm going to be cutting up some chili. These chilies are not even hot, and that's how I like it, because I can't handle spice as much as I like to think I can. I really need to retrain my taste buds, because I cannot be African and not be eating chilies. Come on. In goes the red onion, or shall I say purple onion, coriander, black pepper, white pepper, salt, and some more chili. And I realized that I'm not that brave, and I took some away. I added in my mayonnaise, mixed it all up together. Just add and remove things as you like, guys. Add some salt as well, because you need a little bit of salt. Mix it all up and you're done. So now we're going to move on to my guacamole. I just chopped up some tomatoes, a red onion, coriander, some more green chili, and added it all in there. I've also squeezed a lot of lime in here that I didn't show you, some black pepper, and that's it. Mix it all up together, cut it up chunky if you like. I like it chunky. And then for breakfast, this is actually what I had on this day at 2 p.m. because I was busy prepping this all day. So I had some guac, some of that tuna filling, and by the way, these little pizza things I bought from Aldi as well. If I'm going to tell you guys what my favorites are, it is from M&S. It's the seeded ones of these breads. Get that one because it's so good. But yeah, that is the guac, and this is everything that I have meal prepped to keep us going for the week. And I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this. I'm going to leave a link to Cricut in the description bar below. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out the other machines that they have. I believe they have 3 altogether. But honestly, that little machine that I have is fabulous, and I'm so excited to be creating more things with it. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Cricut for sponsoring a portion of today's video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.